Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the 7-Minute Workshop. And if you've never joined us on this before, here we chat about all the complex topics that affect or maybe should affect your business. And we do that with some experts, and we do it in just 7 minutes. I don't know about you, but it took me twice that long to carve a turkey last week. So we'll see if we can cut that time in half. All month, we've been talking about analytics and how to improve your analytics practice. And today we're going to address ways to solve some of your biggest analytics challenges. And one last time, our own internal experts on the topic are going to join us. Our VP of Product Management and Engineering for Suite Analytics, Joav, Bally, as well as our Senior Product Marketing Manager, Marc Holliday. We're going to discuss why 90% of business intelligence projects fail and how to avoid that, the keys to successful analytics practice, and how NetSuite helps with all of it. A quick reminder before we get started, if you have questions throughout today's discussions, you can ask them in the comments and we'll get to them at the end of the conversation. Don't forget, tell us where you're tuning in from. We love to hear from people all over the world. We know you've signed in from all parts of the world. I'm here in the Middle East. We'd love to give you a shout out right back. So if you have any advice also around analytics, add your thoughts to the comments. We'd love to share it with others too. So now please join me in welcoming Joav Bally and Marc Holliday. Hey, Joav. Hi, Marc. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Fritz. Thank you for having us back.
Yeah, hey, Fritz. Great to be back here with you and Joav.
All right, one last time on analytics, and I want to start out with that stat I quoted before. It's a bit of a haymaker. 90% of BI projects fail. Marc, why is that?
Well, they fail for a number of reasons. And so keeping with your boxing theme, I'll lay down some of the heavier hitters that cause failure. The first is a lack of an executive sponsor. Executives are usually that first customer of a BI project. So getting their buy-in early and allowing them to provide the resources to continue the BI project will really help you be successful. Another reason is internal subject matter experts or perhaps an external consultant on the project leaves before the project is over with. That can certainly derail a BI project. And then when you're ready to start analyzing multiple sources of data, the best way to go is to warehouse your data. And to do that can be very time consuming, can be very expensive, especially if you try to build it yourself or stitch together a bunch of different products from different vendors. And NetSuite understood that that's a problem our customers were having. So that's why we went and built a data warehouse for them to take some of that heavy lifting away by piping in all their NetSuite data, giving them pre-built content to get started on their analytics journey to be more successful.
Joav, Marc just talked about maybe some of the more structural things that get in the way. What are some of the common challenges that get in the way of a successful analytics strategy?
Yeah, I think one of the most common ones is not really understanding the business problem that companies try to solve with analytics, or the answers they would like to get out of the data. Oh, they're focusing on the wrong ones, and are ignoring the big problems that they should focus on. The other one I see very often is once you implement analytics, that people don't trust the data because it doesn't fit their worldview or the way that they want the world to be, right? And then they argue with their gut feelings and try to argue on why the data is wrong. And last but not least, it's not having the right data in the right format in the right place. That's something Marc also just indicated. So these are three challenges that I see quite often in implementing analytics.
Yeah, I love that gut thing. I think we talked about it in the first week.
Yeah,
I use that quote about how if you torture data long enough, it will tell you anything you want it to. And we often go around looking for the things that validate what our gut tells us. Marc, let's go back to our statistic. Looking at the 10% of BI projects that succeed, what can we learn from them?
The optimistic view. So yes, when I was a BI consultant for 5 years, one of the best pieces of advice we saw in our successful customers was think big, but start small. Get the big picture, but start small. You don't want to try and boil the ocean. Most companies want to understand money coming into the company, and they want to really understand their sales numbers, their revenue numbers backwards and forwards before they move on to any other part of their business. Another popular first place to start is with cash flow. Another thing is to use agile development methodologies. Agile development was really built for BI projects. And what that does is it chunks up the work in smaller increments so you can actually deliver value to the company in smaller chunks. And then you continue to build on that and build on that. And eventually you really start to understand your data and can tell those data stories to make better decisions. And then lastly, just be curious and be patient. When you start to look at your data on an analytics platform, you're going to see some new things, and plug into that curiosity and go and explore your data, but also have a sense of patience. A lot of times companies will fail because they have unrealistic expectations at the beginning. So give yourself some time to explore and analyze your data.
Great. We do have some shout outs coming in from, I was going to say Jan, it might be Jan. You can correct us on, let me know what it is, from the Czech Republic, from Prague. Thanks for tuning in. Also, Arnaud, who says hi from Cote d'Ivoire. I have some friends in Cote d'Ivoire. Hopefully it's lovely there this time of year. I think it's the dry season. And Sean says hello from New Hampshire. Michelle says good afternoon from Toronto, Canada. And Jonathan, who just says good afternoon, Oracle, NetSuite. We love that. Thank you guys all for tuning in and shouting out at us, and keep shouting out where you guys are from. Marc, you talked about some of the things to kind of start small and so forth. But if you can give us some keys to successful analytics practice as well.
Yeah, I'll reiterate what Joav had said. Understanding what you're trying to answer, what's the problem you're trying to solve, and to take it a step further, to get those people who have those questions, those stakeholders involved in that BI project very early on can really help you be successful. Another tip would be to have that executive sponsor. That's a really critical piece, but also having a champion within the company that can help educate the company on the data and become more data literate and deliver that data-driven culture. And then lastly, it's just, too many products, too many vendor solutions can also disrupt any BI project. So really trying to standardize on your technologies that you're using can really help pave the way for success in an analytics practice.
Joav, a lot of people talk about an analytics practice having a data scientist driving a lot of the analysis. What is one, and do businesses really need one in order to get the most out of their data?
I'll start with a second question. I think to start off, I think businesses really need a data nerd, or data enthusiast, or Marc called it a data champion, somebody who loves data, who lives and breathes data every day, and that can create the spark within the company to start transforming them into a data-driven one. Once that's happening, and everybody understands the value that the data can bring and the insights that data can uncover for them, then I think it's time to think about a data scientist. Data scientists are really the heavy hitters. They are equipped with tools to uncover patterns and uncover insights in large amount of data, structured, unstructured type of data, and get your analytics practice to the next level. So again, and we spoke about it in the past, depending on the analytics maturity of your company, the more mature you get, the higher the need for data scientists will be. But in the beginning, not necessarily later on, absolutely.
And just to kind of close off our 7 minutes, Joav, what does NetSuite offer to help businesses overcome some of the challenges that we've just kind of outlined today?
Yeah, I think the cool thing about NetSuite is that the analytics that NetSuite offers out of the box, we call it embedded, is within the system. So there is no data movement. There is no format changes of data. Everything is happening in real time. So the forms that you fill out to enter your sales orders, once it hits the database, you can analyze it. The data is right there. So we are offering tools like safe searches and reports that makes it easy to see what has happened in the past with your data. We're offering now newer suite analytics offerings that we call workbooks and data sets that allows you to diagnose, slice and dice your data and really figure out why something has happened to your business, whereas safe search and reports really covers the what. For folks that have maybe third-party data sources and would like to join these with NetSuite data, we offer a Connect product, which is basically a JDBC or ODBC interface that allows you to take all the NetSuite data out and put it somewhere to analyze it. And recently, a few weeks back at SuiteWorld, we launched our analytics warehouse that uses the same interface, the same JDBC interface I just mentioned, but it goes one step further. We have a whole data warehouse for you up and running in the cloud. We move all the NetSuite data in there. It comes with a BI tool that allows you to visualize the data, slice and dice it. It applies machine learning and AI to your data out of the box to really uncover all the insights that will make you grow your business even faster. So I think NetSuite has the whole spectrum for every maturity that customers have in terms of analytics, and we will really help you grow, start, and then from that starting point, grow your analytics journey. And I hope that answer did not get us over the 7 minutes.
Well, maybe a little, but I'm still carving my.
You're still carving. That's good. That's good.
We do have a few more shout outs here from Nico, who says hello from Dublin. Thank you for tuning in. We have Levi from Texas, and we have Sean, who says, hi, Joav, Bally. I think we met at SuiteWorld at the Bird of a Feather lunch. It could have been a different Joav, Bally, but it might have been you.
There's only one.
So
there's only one. Hi, Sean. Happy to see you again.
And we're gonna open up for Q&A. So for those tuning in, if you still have questions, keep on commenting, keep shouting out as well. We're gonna do our best to say hello and answer as many questions as we can. But we do have a question from Jan. I'm just gonna go with Jan at this point. And Joav, you talked a little bit about NetSuite Analytics Warehouse and the BI that is connected to that product. But Jan asks, what is the most used software BI that you are currently using? And maybe we just kind of answer it more broadly. Feel free to say the beauty of what's in NetSuite Analytics Warehouse, but I think we can talk a little more broadly about it too.
I really rarely contradict you, Fritz, but it's Jan. If he's from Czech Republic, I'm pretty sure it's Jan. I know many Jans from Czech Republic.
That's what I thought. But Kendall, our producer, laughed at me when I said that. I get this laughter in my ear. That's why I went with Jan. But I think you're right. It's probably Jan. I was probably right.
Oh no,
Kendall
I will
gets very tired.
Sure not contradict Kendall, otherwise she will cut me out immediately. So. But back to the question. Believe it or not, I really use workbooks a lot, just because I analyze a lot of the user behavior and a lot of the data of the analytics users within NetSuite. And believe it or not, I'm using a workbook and data set for that. So I get all the information that I need, all the insights that I need from our own tools. I mean, my team is building that, so I'm happy to use it. We drink our own champagne here, and we are happy with that. Outside of that, what I see, at least our customers who are starting with analytics, to be honest, they use a lot of Microsoft Excel, and I think that's a great tool from a starting point of view to get your toes wet with analytics, right? It's not only about the tool; it's really about the concept. It's learning how to read data, how to format data, how to slice and dice data, and I think Excel for many smaller customers is a great tool to start. But of course, there are a lot of products out there, all of them with their pros and cons. But that's at least the tools I am using, and I see a lot of our customers are using too.
I do have a comment from Sean that I wanted to bring up, and either of you can comment on this. This is Sean from the Birds of the Feather Lunch, I believe, who said, "I think it's really important to have someone on a project that knows what each data point means to a company or team." And he says that he worked on a project once where it took us weeks to understand that when the CEO said sales, he meant invoice. And, I think kind of back to the basics on this, understanding the data that you're after. Any comments on that from either of you?
I'm happy to take that. We hear that comment a lot, and this is why we came up with the concept of the data set. And one of the differences where we see company mature from Excel to a BI tool is companies want to create a single source of truth when it comes to data. So if they define sales, everybody understands what it means and works on the same set of data to analyze sales. And this is a process every company go through, right? And for them, invoices might be sales. For other companies, the sales order is already sales, right? They define that because they know the invoice will come eventually. So creating the single source of truth for the most important domains that you would like to analyze is the first step. And to create that alignment across the company is absolutely important to gain trust in the data and to make sure that, once you say a certain number, everybody understands what that number means and trust that number. That's a good observation and question there.
The next question is, you mentioned NetSuite Analytics Warehouse and Suite Analytics before. Do companies need both?
Eventually they might. Again, it really depends on maturity. If companies are sensing right now that they are outgrowing Excel to a certain extent, or that they need certain real-time data, or that they need the single source of truth in their system of record and not in Excel, they might not need the warehouse immediately. But as the businesses grow, as they will have many applications, as they will have many data sources, they absolutely will reach a point where they need to make sure that they can join all these data sources together, and that they can gain insights, from NetSuite and non-NetSuite data, and that they're able to apply machine learning, AI, and so on against this single data source that they're creating. And that's the point then when they absolutely need to think about a data warehouse. And I'm pretty sure they will reach the point where they will say, yes, we have outgrown our current solution, and we need to migrate our data to a data warehouse.
Speaking of outgrowing your current solution, you kind of touched on this question before, Joav, but the question is, why can't I just keep exporting data to Excel and do my analysis there?
Eventually, your data will just get too big, and Excel will not be able to handle that. That's one, you will just hit the boundaries of Excel. But even more important, again, the question also Sean asked, once the data is in Excel, all of us have reached all of us were in this meeting we went into. Everybody came with their Excel, and you actually just spent the whole meeting trying to figure out why the numbers are different. Wait, what did sale mean for you? Why did it increase 5%? For me, it decreased 2%. How did you calculate that? Wait, show me your data, right? So this is just so inefficient and such a waste of time that eventually companies will get to the point where they say, our data is too big. We need to create a single source of truth of how we define certain things in our company. And then we need to see these things in real time. And that's exactly then when they understand that they have outgrown Excel and that they have to migrate to a better analytics or BI solution.
And I guess there's a point that you just don't want to overwrite that one cell that the flight simulator Easter egg is in. Is it still in there? I don't know. It's been a while. Am I dating myself by saying that? Marc, I want to end with this. Joav said that he drinks the champagne, the company champagne, hopefully not on work hours. But speaking of that, can you tell those tuning in where they can learn more about NetSuite's analytics functionality?
Yeah, absolutely. We've actually got a couple webinars coming up. This Thursday, the 2nd of December, you can see a webinar, product demonstration webinar about Suite Analytics. And then the following Thursday, the 9th of December, you can see a product demonstration of our new analytics warehouse. You can register for these at netsuite.com/events. Just look under the Suite Fundamentals webinar series. And you've also got a link in the comment box here to those registration pages as well. And then for current NetSuite customers, we also have the Oracle NetSuite Learning Center that has a lot of content, a lot of training and tutorials to help educate users on how to use Suite Analytics and the warehouse. So there's a couple great resources out there for anybody in the audience to learn more about our analytics solutions.
Thank you. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us, not just today, Marc and Joav, but this entire month of November. I had a really great time talking about this topic with you guys. So thank you.
Thank you, Fritz. It was great.
Yeah, thank you, Fritz. Really enjoyed it.
Okay, and as always, a big thanks to all of you for tuning in, especially for those who tuned in from all around the world. Today we had Dublin, and we had Toronto, and a few places in the US. We had Prague, we had Cote d'Ivoire, maybe Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire. See, I just like to say these fun French words. If you want to learn more about using NetSuite to improve your analytics, click the link in the caption. If you don't already, be sure to give us a follow, a like, or subscribe across any of our social channels so you never miss content just like this. We'll see you soon.